Hello everyone, welcome once again to my channel. It's your boy Luis Portelles, and for today's video we have a very juicy topic because for the past few days I have been seeing a trend on social media, especially when it comes to the pageantry world, and that is comparing the performances of Miss Philippines Michelle Dee to Miss Thailand Miss Anntonia Porsild. This is something that has been happening for the past few years. I mean, both of these countries are powerhouses, and in all fairness, they both send excellent representatives to Miss Universe. To settle this conversation, I decided to put together this video where we are gonna go in depth analyzing the performance of each one of these ladies so that you guys can have your own conclusions about this matter. Now, of course, just like any respectable analysis, we are gonna have some criteria that we're gonna follow for this. So first thing that we're going to analyze is the swimsuit presentation, followed by the evening gown, advocacy work, as well as communication skills. I really hope that you guys enjoy this video, but most importantly, I hope that you leave feeling like you learned something new. All right, I won't keep you waiting much longer. I will see you right after the intro with the full analysis.
Be strong.
Let's start by talking about the swimsuit competition, which historically has been one of the favorite segments of pageant fans from all generations. Although we have been seeing the swimsuit competition being the subject of controversy in recent years, and therefore some pageants have been dropping it, it is still a very important part of a queen's performance. When it comes to Michelle Dee, it is safe to say that she has a slower pace on stage. This woman really loves to take her time to walk across the stage, and in all fairness, she looks very confident while doing so. Michelle seems to be so comfortable in her own skin to the point that sometimes comes across as a little bit intimidating. I don't know if you guys feel that way, but for me, sometimes I gotta check myself because I'm like, how to be you, Michelle? Michelle's walk is simple yet effective. She will give us fierce with a side of character, which in my opinion ends up complementing the technical side of things for Michelle. Now, when it comes to Anntonia Porsild, we can say that she has the wow factor when she walks on stage. There's something on this woman that you cannot take your eyes away from her. If we compare it to Michelle, we can say that Anntonia has more of a fast-paced walk and that she has more of an airy vibe, as in, I don't think she pays as much attention to technicalities. It's more about being present in the moment, enjoying the moment, connecting with the audience, connecting with the judges, and I think that sometimes having the perfect balance in between these two walks, it could be ideal, but in my opinion, they're both very different queens, so I can understand why they both have very different approaches when it comes to the swimsuit presentation. She knows that she is sexy and she is not scared to flaunt it on stage, so she's one of those girls that I know I'm going to live for at Miss Universe because she will deliver, a full-on hell of a show. Now let's talk about the evening gown competition, which in my opinion is the perfect moment to see a queen's ability to capture the audience's attention. I always imagine the evening gown presentation as being the moment where the queen walks into the room and the audience has to stop for a moment and look at her. Is she giving those vibes? For me, that's what determines if it's a hit or a miss. Very similar to her swimsuit walk, I think that Michelle Dee is a lot more technical when it comes to her walk in evening gown. She has often quoted her mom as one of her biggest influences. Her mom is a very known person in show business in the Philippines. She is a supermodel, so of course the vibes that often Michelle tries to transmit are more dramatic and more model-esque, especially with the poses that she adapts while she is walking on stage. In terms of styling, Michelle seems to enjoy more of a classical look. She goes for more traditional designs, more neutral colors, and to be honest, those things can often be a synonym of timeless. Because of this, when you compare it to Anntonia, I think that her approach to the evening gown presentation is safer. However, she always adds a lot of character, drama, as I said earlier. Michelle has gone as far as curating an entire backstory for her walk, which I think it gives it a little bit of mystery and makes fans want to know more about it. And to be fair, Michelle is also a very calm person, so if she was doing like some extravagant walk across the stage, I would think it's a little bit unbalanced. On the other hand, when it comes to Anntonia Porsild, she is not scared to jump on the sexier side of things and show a little bit of skin. Her gowns are often revealing and well crafted to fit her perfectly. When Anntonia is walking during the evening gown segment, she channels a very regal yet playful aura. Because of this, I think that her walk is appealing to most people. However, to be fair, it is not so distinctive. A lot of girls walk in a very similar manner. However, she has mastered the walk. She does that very, very well. In terms of styles, because she has such a bubbly and likable personality, I think that she could pull off a variety of looks. I was telling you for Michelle, she's more of a classic type of girl. I think that Anntonia can do traditional, classy, she can do sexy, she can do fashion forward. So she has that commercial appeal in a way. The way that she carries herself on stage is also very calm, very much at ease. She seems to be really, really in control of the situation. And of course, that's one of the perks that comes with pageant experience. Now let's talk about advocacy, because this is one of the most important things that Miss Universe is paying attention to, especially now in the era of JKN, where they are looking for a transformational leader. Michelle Dee has been an advocate for years when it comes to creating awareness around autism. She has been consistent with this cause even before her stint at Miss World Philippines, so it truly shows that she's very committed to it. For many years, she has worked hand in hand with the Autism Society of the Philippines during the Angels Walks, doing some seminars as well, and other activities. She also uses her very large social media platforms to create awareness around autism. She has even gone as far as incorporating the colors for the cause within some of her looks for the Miss Universe Philippines 2023 pageant, so you can see that she carries that legacy with her wherever she goes. As a matter of fact, a few years ago, Michelle Dee opened up and shared the story of her two brothers who are within the autism spectrum, and because of this, she said that this is a lifelong mission for herself, not just because she's committed to the cause, but because it's something that is so close to her heart and her family as well. On the other hand, we have Anntonia Porsild, who launched in 2015 her organization called Little Steps Project. We can describe her organization as a community, activity, and service charity project that focuses on giving back to communities in Thailand. Since she founded Little Steps Project, Anntonia has helped build a school library for kids in Thailand. She also promotes the message of giving to others and being generous whenever we can. One of the things that she has mentioned before is that we can never be poor by giving to other people, and I feel like her organization is living proof of that. She focuses on actively giving back to the community by providing quality education and basic necessities to improve the lives of those people living in rural areas in Thailand. Anntonia seems to be really, really committed to her cause, and she has been doing this even before she joined Miss Supranational. Now, in terms of advocacies, what I will say is that for me personally, Michelle's Dee advocacy seems to be a lot more specific. Antonia's advocacy seems to be a little bit more broad. Is that a good or a bad thing? I personally think that there's no right or wrong answer. It really depends of what you are passionate about and how you want to have an impact within the communities that surround you. Now, of course, we wouldn't be able to have this video without talking about communication skills. This is how we know that our girls are able to drop the mic, as well as prove that they are women of substance. Now, to give you proof of this, we are going to listen to Michelle Dee's Q&A performance, talk about it, and then we'll do the same for Anntonia. Let's get into it.
I think first we have to recognize what we have and the privileges that we have, such as food, education, and homes. I think the best way to address this is really through education, because education holds no status quo. And every Filipino child has the right to an education, but not just any education, but quality education. Because I believe if the government can provide this to every Filipino child, then we can not only elevate their quality of life, but we can empower them as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Makati. Recently, the Department of Tourism has adopted a new branding campaign. We give the world our best. For you, what is the best that we could offer to the rest of the world? Why do you consider it so?
The Philippines is home to very beautiful natural resources, from the beaches, the mountains, but I firmly believe that the best natural resource that the Philippines has is us Filipinos. We are the true heart and soul of the Philippines, with the way we are hospitable, with the warm smiles, and we are the reason why the world keeps coming back for more. No matter where the universe takes me, I will always be proud to call the Philippines my home, and no matter what happens, I will always be proud to call myself Pinoy. Thank you.
I think it's super safe to say that Michelle is such a confident speaker, and that confidence is something that is very consistent for her all across the categories. I really like that. She knows how to answer a question in a very interesting, straight to the point way while maintaining an impactful answer. We all know a girl who tends to talk a little bit too much. I think it's important to highlight that Michelle has grown pretty much in show business. So she is used to being put on the spot. Of course, she is media trained as well. For me, this equals excellent management of herself. She knows how to carry herself. She knows how to answer something that maybe she was not expecting. And that you can see from the way that she talks in front of the cameras, in front of the judges, to the way that she behaves. Even her nonverbal language is very clear. Now let's go listen to Anntonia and see how she did.
There are many things we consider the foundation of life, but what's more important is the quality of life. And the most important thing is to be happy and do what you love, and give back to the community whenever it is needed. No matter what you do in your life, strive to achieve and be a force for good for the people around you and make a positive impact. Be a light of glory and never do anything without a good intention and with 100% of your heart. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Very similar to Michelle D, I think that Anntonia is super confident in her communication skills. This was actually one of her strengths that everyone kept on quoting about her when she was competing at Miss Universe Thailand and even from before when she competed at Miss Supranational. I think that Anntonia is a really good storyteller, so she's very good at catching people's attention, and one of her talents is to make everything sound really good. Don't you ever listen to an answer and you're like going through it, maybe you didn't get the full answer, but you're like, wow, that sounds really good, really impactful. That's actually one of my feedbacks for Anntonia. I think that sometimes her statement can be a little bit general. Personally, I like it when the girls go from broad to more specific. So maybe if she was able to support her answers with examples, concrete examples, it will be a little bit more impactful, in my humble opinion. But overall, I really have no complaints. I feel like she remains herself. And because she knows that she's such a good speaker, she is able to keep it together and look very confident while delivering a killer answer. Now, I did my part. Based on this analysis, I would love to find out who are you rooting for when it comes to Miss Universe 2023. Are you Team Philippines with Michelle D or Team Thailand with Anntonia Porsild? Honestly, there is no right or wrong answer because both of them are outstanding candidates. Now, if you want to find out who are the early favorites for Miss Universe 2023, make sure to check out this video right here where I present to you my top 15 early favorites for Miss Universe. See you on the next one, everyone.